We begin our recap on the planet of Pangella. Now, Pangella is a struggling planet. There's not a lot of food available. The food that is relatively low quality. It feels unremarkable, let's say. And the livestock in the fields are skinny, and the plants don't grow big or bear nutritious fruit, anything like that. There's a real lack of magic and vigor. That's the world where we're going to start, but not in terms of the current adventure. I'd like to take you back to a small monastery with rain pouring and a small basket with a tiny, tiny fledgling in the basket. Outside the doors of the monastery, they open, and a quite aged human looks out and says, all right. What's this, little birdie? Wow, is this a gift from the gods? He picks up this fledgling from the basket and takes him inside. Andy, would you like to describe your character as a child?
As a child? Jin is a Kenku. He is a cheeky looking little chap. He looks like a raven, but he has hands, no wings, and he's just adorable.
Wow. Now this is a little cutie. I'm going to name you Jinsokuna Funika. It means swift carrying. I don't know who I'm talking to. Anyway, let's get you right in that dojo, young Jin son.
Alright.
His first words, my boy. So he takes you inside, and inside the monastery, this is it's pretty intense, to be honest with you. There's a lot of hoo, ha, all right, yeah, and loads of young monks in training are very regimented. They are awake before the sun rises, and they are doing chores. They are doing their training exercises. We're going to skip forward a few years in a fucking sick-ass montage of Jin learning the craft. He's punching the air. That air didn't know what hit it, to be honest with you. And we're going to transition slowly to a scene where Adachi, the master here, is gathered all of his disciples there, his young monks. Now listen up here, you fellow seekers of wisdom. Just as the river flows steadily, so must your thoughts. Here's how you always win a fist fight. And he calls upon one of the young monks, who's quite rotund actually, a little bit fat, looks a little bit like a turkey. Up to the front, and he says, now it's as simple as bring your own gun. He punches in the air, and an astral fist hits this little turkey, and it's knocked unconscious. That's as easy as it gets. Just a few short punches in the air, and then right in the kisser. Any little turkey, go right down like that. We're gonna transition again. Now Jin's approximately 14, 15 years old, and I'd like you to describe what you like as a child, or generally as a person.
What I like?
What are you like?
Oh, what am I like? Jin is a simple fella. He likes Kenku things, eating grain, cawing at night, cawing in the morning, and punching things and people.
Okay. As you're about 14 years old, you're cawing at night for some reason, and and you hear some quite violent coughing actually coming from Master Adachi's living quarters. What do you do?
Jin's going to get up and he's going to sneak through the dojo and peek his head through into Adachi's quarters.
So you see, in fact, let's do it. Let's have the first roll of the campaign, please.
Ooh.
Roll me a perception check.
With your new shiny dicey boys.
Hot 8.
It's hot fate. Okay, so you sneaking around and you're taking a peek into Master Adachi's living quarters. You seem kind of hunched over and he's kind of coughing. Blood is coming out of his mouth and dripping to the floor. And as a small puddle of blood on the floor is kind of gathering, he looks deep into this puddle and says, "I can't go on like this, that's for sure thing. I accept your offer." And some of the blood from the floor back into his mouth, up his nose, and it looks like he's reversing the flow of the blood. A few years later, Jin is now a young man, and you do notice that Master Adachi's health has taken a hit. He's going a bit frail. And one night he calls upon you and he asks you to come and just sit with him outside and look at the stars. Young Fukushima. No, that's not your name. Young Funika. Young Funika.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Listen to me, Jin. I ain't got long for this world. And I worry about you. I've not finished your training. Now, out there in that big wide world, there's a lot of wild turkeys and bloodsuckers. And let me tell you, they ain't no good for you. Life's one big old journey. And you gotta dance the cosmic dance, my son. You got to learn the sway, the rhythm. You got to listen closely to that beat. You know, that boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom. You know, it's a easy, it's a bazy. It's in here. And he points directly at your heart. He says, that's what you need. Right there. You gotta focus on your secret. You gotta focus on your truth. Your palace of truth and divinity. It's in that heart you got there. You understand my ancient wisdom words?
I do, Master.
Spoken like a true monk. Now, listen to me, Jin. Giving head can get you backstage, but giving heart, that's what gets you that true power. And as he drops these words of wisdom on you, there's a sizzling in the distance. And with a fizzle and a bang, through the skyline, a green light shoots past. And actually, whoa, what's that? And we follow the light through the forest tops, hitting trees, cracking them. It's all the way off into the distance in a far off land to you, Jin, as this green streak into the forest. This is the Bivasia forest. There's a pair of interested wood elves that investigate this small crash site. They find an infant, a child, very small, smaller than your average person, but no less mighty. The pair take in the child, and raise her in the commune, which they call Nebula. Ashley, would you like to describe, please, young Binks?
Yeah. So, being a gnome, obviously she is smaller than your average baby, smaller than your average child, much smaller than the gnomes around her. She's got really pale skin. She's like a little freckly. She's got tons of like bright red aubany hair, like one of those babies that were just born with loads of hair. Like ridiculously big eyes. She's like Pixar level. Just real cute baby all around.
Okay. So the two female wood elves that find you. Now, I've got to think about saying this one. Off your glowlesslies and Silatails. This is Ophi and Silo. A couple never able to have their own children, and what they see before them is a gift from the gods. So they take you in as their own and they raise you. We'll do a short time jump. You're about 5 years old at this stage. What are you like as a child?
What am I like, or
what are you like?
Curious. So she wants to know everything about everything. Living in the forest, there's lots of creatures, plants, wildlife around her. So she's constantly kind of, I don't know, looking under rocks and climbing in trunks of trees and forever wanting to just know more about the world around her and why things are the way they are.
Well, you're in the right place, because the Bivasia forest has a kind of a canopy of moss. To anyone else, this would look like the floor. But to you guys that are in the commune of Nebula, you know it's actually where you keep all your secrets beneath. So underneath the mossy layer, there's a whole new system of large roots, kind of like mangrove roots down there, away from the fir trees that were up above. Deep, deep, and that's where you are safe. One day, you are aware that your mothers are kind of not themselves, and they're talking, and again, you're young, so you don't really understand it, but they're saying sort of like, no, he said he'd come here tonight, and you know, we've not seen him in a few years. I hope he approves of what we're doing. Later that night, your parents put you to bed, and as always, they leave you with a short story from a book. A lovely story, actually. It's about these three sisters, and how they really help their family, and how they care for people. Lovely story. It feels a bit unfinished. Feels like they don't actually get to the end of the story, but it's enough for you to pretend to be asleep. After that, Ophi and Silo leave, and you can hear some muffled voices. They're clearly talking in a semi-frantic state. I'd like you to please roll me a perception check.
Binks dice so kind of. What are Binks dice? I don't know, I think they're green. Who imagine? It was 2. Yeah, 2.
Okay. It's muffled, really muffled, and you don't necessarily recognise this voice. From what you can work out, he says, "You're being irresponsible. You have no idea what she is. She will be safer with me." Your parents are insisting again. You don't pick up the exact words, but they insist you're a gift from the gods. Your fate making its way back to them. And the voice again, "Don't be so foolish. We know where she came from, and she isn't safe here. They'll come for her, and you'll regret it." Most of the rest of the conversation you don't work out. a curious child, you don't really fit in where you are. You're the only gnome. But you definitely have an ability to make friends, that's for sure. And there's one particular friend, a small, pink, hairless rat that you affectionately name Jeremy. And he stays with you, by your side, in all the dark times, in all the confusing times. He likes to read with you as well. You read to him occasionally, and based on his facial expressions and things, you think he really takes it in. He's as curious as you are. In your childhood, your mother Silo constantly reinforces that knowledge is the key. You'll be fine as long as you keep reading, you keep learning, and she even sees the potential of you learning magic through books. Ophi is a little bit different. She says, Binks, listen to me. There's one way to a man's heart. It's between his 4th and 5th ribs on his left-hand side. Never forget that. These are very different parents. As you safely drift off to sleep one night, you're having a dream. The dream's strange because it feels like you're awake and asleep. And in the room that you're in, inside this dream, a shadowy figure emerges, cloaked with a pearl white mask, 6 eyes down the mask, and a forked red shape upwards onto the forehead. It doesn't speak at all. It communicates through its gestures. And this one time, it brings up a few astral figures near it. They look like puppets on strings, and they move sporadically. Dead strange. They're obviously not human. This one time, this entity gestures towards a kind of a wall, and you see one of the figures go behind the wall. The astral being hands you a little porthole looking thing, tiny, like the end of a telescope, and he puts it against the wall. Through it, you can see the astral figure on the other side as it slips on a banana comically, and the being kind of cackles away and it goes into shadow. You have Porky's Porthole of Peering. I can't remember if I added that to D&D Beyond because it's way from last campaign, so if not, I'll add it tonight. But this porthole allows you to see through any obstruction for one look, and it's got 2 maximum uses, so you can use that twice and it'll destroy after that. The very last thing regarding where you are is that you want to store this and keep it secret from your parents because they don't know that you're a little bit mischievous, and they don't know about this person visiting you in your dreams and giving you gifts. So you go to one of those books that Silo tells you about, and you rip out a couple of the pages, you make a little dent inside of it, and that's where you store the Porthole of Peering. And as you shut it, the front cover reveals it's a cookbook. It says Stealing Cookie Utensils by Grammy Tea Leaf. As that book falls, we transition over to that's too intense. Let's go back to a little town called Puddington. In Puddington, they run an annual competition called the Puddington Bake Off. Inside this tent, it's getting intense. 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 Okay. And it's really frantic. There's a bunch of people like whipping things up, like sticking them into these like ovens, and there's a bunch of like goblins running around like getting more ingredients, bringing them over. And there's one person that kind of stands out because she's quite calm, really, compared to everyone else here. Kat, I'd like you to describe Betty, please, at the age of 22.
So this would be pre.
Yeah.
No. So Betty is a young dwarf. She's really like quite beautiful. She's got like long, really shiny dark hair, like big brown eyes. She's got like massive boobs. And she's just loving life, like running around. Like everything she does is just like really sexy. Like she somehow manages to make mixing like eggs and butter look really sultry. And she's just in her element, man. She's loving it.
So Betty looks relatively calm, and everyone else is really frantic and like running around. It becomes time to have the judging, and this is where it's never felt more intense at this stage. Do you know what you prepared?
Hebron rum cake.
Yes, I thought you might. So the prizes come along. Third place for a odd chocolatey thing. Now bear in mind, remember what I said about the food earlier. It doesn't taste like chocolate, it tastes like dirt, but it was good enough to get third. From, I didn't think of a name for this person, so let's call her Cacao Karen. Third place, Cacao Karen, hooray! And the crowd kind of, yeah. Second place for a invisible muffin. And everyone's, it's Nori Knickerbocker! And thank you. And first place, can't believe it's the first time she's even entered, with a Hebron rum cake, it's Betty Crockery! Woo! Betty! Your competitors congratulate you. You're surrounded by your family. Turd comes over, gives you a big hug.
It's called Turd.
Her brother's called Turd. Gives you a big hug and says like, oh, you know, can't wait. Let's have some celebratory drinks tonight. Let's do it. A little bit later, a few hours later, you're still on the high. You know, it's a tiring day, but it's really worth it. Your family are coming and going. They're giving you a lot of gifts. It's kind of like winning, like, you know, a huge boxing match or something. It's like they take it really seriously. A little bit of money involved, but again, you've already, before even thinking about it, you already dished out to your family. You're quite selfless. And the party's kind of dying down now, and everyone's gone. It's dark. It's late in the evening, and there's a subtle on your door. What do you do?
She's gonna.
You've won the postcode lottery!
Oh my god, she would love that. You're like, hello? Who is it?
Hello, Betty. It's Noreen. I've just come to give you a little gift for winning the Puddington Bake Off.
Noreen. And she's gonna go answer the door.
Oh, thank you. Which, Betty, my hips really hurt in the cold out here. You wouldn't mind really letting me in your humble abode?
Come in, darling.
Oh, before I come in, King Myers. And these two kind of big guys pop out of a bush.
Oh. Are they good looking?
You're right. No. I based them on the hairy bikers, so no.
Depends on your persuasion.
I suppose so, yeah. There is that one porno. So they kind of pop out of a bush and they're kind of like, "Ooh, yeah," and she says, these are my sons. Would you mind? They need to rub my feet. Would you mind if they'd come in too?
I feel like, although they're not super friendly, I think she'd be a bit weirded out by this.
Okay, yeah, roll an insight check.
Yeah. Oh, where the fuck are my dice? It's not shit.
Bang average, some might say.
It is bang average, yeah. Insight. Oh, it's an 11.
So, Noreen's always been quite nice to you. And in the competition, she would regularly help other people as well, so she's quite trustworthy.
Okay. Well, she's going to be like, of course, dears, come on in.
Great.
I'll make us some tea.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't worry. We won't be straying for long, dear. And the door shuts behind them. And she's in your house and saying, "Oh, it's very nice and clear. Now, I'm not really used to losing. Betty, I have to admit.
I've always admired your invisible muffins, darling.
Do you know the secret?
No.
Well, there's not a lot of good ingredients around here, as you might have worked out in your even in your young age. You have to travel a little bit further for the ingredients I use." And she pulls out a flower. It's an invisible lilac. It's glassy, so you can see the outside of it. You know, it's not literally invisible, but
Yeah.
that's its name. As she kind of like slowly glances out the window at the moonlight coming in. You have to go a little bit further to get some of my special ingredients. I made a special one for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
That's so kind.
It's this one. And she pulls it out, and it's kind of like a muffin with like a silvered top, and it kind of like glows a little bit. I'd like you to have this.
Thank you. I think she'd be like really enchanted by that, so she's like, thank you. That's marvellous.
Yes, I'd like you to eat it.
Oh, a taste test?
No, yes. No.
No?
No. As King and Myers are kind of slowly walking round her shoulder. I'd like you to eat the muffin now, Betty.
Would you like some too?
Oh, when you got to my age, you don't have much of an appetite.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
It's really scary.
Eat the muff, Betty.
I'd like you to chow on my muffin.
She's going to do it, not because I'm not going
Boys.
to let her. She's going to eat it.
Before you even get the chance to, they're going to come over and basically grab the muffin, grab your head, and just smash it into your face. And as you're kind of like getting a taste of it, and sort of like, she's in the background like,
Bitch!
and as she does this kind of evil laugh, you can feel it. The life energy from you being sucked out of you and transferred, and you see her wrinkles slowly disappearing as she's doing this maniacal laugh. You feel so much pain. You start to writhe, you start to fall over, and all of your hair starts to turn grey as you scream loud. We move to the moonlight.
Wait for the video.
From the moonlight, it falls down on a very distant forest. It's early into the morning, and there's a young, cheeky chappie in a little bed of twigs and moss. And he hears a voice. Tavis Sampson, it's time for your breakfast. I need you to go grab some berries from near the creek.
But it's so early. I have to go now.
Creek!
I'm going, Papa. I'm going.
You hear a separate voice. Baby T, I also would like some food. Is there any nice mushrooms today?
I'll get some down by the creek, Mama.
Thank you, T.
No worries.
So, Sai, would you like to please describe baby, young Tavis?
Baby Tavis, still being a fear bogey, still about 3-4 foot tall. He's quite a big baby.
Quite a big baby.
He's 3.
The same size as some adults.
Yeah. He's like, he wears like cloth clothes. Ragged. Yeah, like ragged cloth.
Cotton armour.
Here we go.
You know, cloth clothes.
Like sort of
Literally.
ragged, kind of scruffy looking. He has like a greenish skin, but most of it has moss covered on it and stuff like that. From living out in the wild, they don't really wash much, so he kind of has a little stank on him from the forest.
Okay, cool. So you hear some voices again. Today, please.
Fucking hell.
Tea.
Big baby.
Don't worry. I'm leaving right now.
So, so you leave and you begin to gather kind of breakfast supplies. There's kind of like birds, specific birds actually. Ratchet and Larko come over and they're sort of like, "Come on, Tavis, let's go down to the creek," and I giggle with you there.
Come on, boys, let's go.
Swift's already down there, and whew, they kind of like go away to the creek. I'd like you to, as you're foraging, I'd like you to roll, please, a survival check.
See if I can remember how to do this. I rolled a 2, but that's a 10.
Wow. Okay, cool. So you find some berries called bloomberries. They're really nice. They're kind of like
Mama likes these.
the weird these ones because they kind of like have a cotton-like substance near the top of them, like a little afro on top of the berry itself. Really tasty. A little bit of hard work to separate that, which is inedible, from the berry, but when you do it, really, really nice. There's also these really long penile mushrooms that by the creek, and you're thinking, oh yeah, Mum does like those. So you grab a few of those as well while you're at it. In the woods, this is a strange wood. The trees are quite short, but there's a lot of foliage to them. A different kind of forest than previously. We were talking about the Bivasia forest. Very different part of the world. What does Tavis do for fun?
So he likes just collecting little bits and bobs, and he likes making little trinkets so he can go down by the lake, and he's kind of figured out that he can sort of disguise himself as other looking people, so he'll go down and like swap his trinkets with other like boys and girls that are down by the lake playing and stuff like that.
Cool, yeah. So you have a little bit of fun for a few hours, and you do eventually kind of remember, like, oh, no, they sent me out to get some food, and you kind of go back, and Papa says, but I was worried about where you was, young Tavis. I'm really hungry. I not eaten for like a long time. Can you cook it?
I can start a little fire if you want.
Yeah.
Dada. And I can do some mushrooms and berries and stuff.
Get Bambi and Sonic to help you.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Mama. And your mum's voice now. Yeah? He got the berries with the hairdos. She goes, oh, he always styling his hair. So you cook some dinner. It's really nice. Like, you're pretty convinced every dish you cook is the best dish you've ever made. You and your family enjoy this dish, but they're so full. Like, there's a lot that goes to waste. But being the type of family you are, waste is an opportunity to feed the forest again. And so you end up taking it back out again, and on the afternoon, you make even more friends. So in the afternoon, you meet Apollo, and you meet Luna, and they're kind of like on the patrol as well, and they're asking you about like the family, you know. Oh, how's Mama? How's Papa? How's Gigi?
She good. I think she was sleeping a lot today.
Oh.
She did. She wasn't very hungry.
She does get tired. Yeah, you're right.
I know.
Well, listen, we're just gonna watch the perimeter because, you know, dangerous things out here. So you just stay home.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, you're very special to us, you and your family. So, you know, stay safe. Stay safe. You to go and have another few drinks in the evening with your family. You know, nothing too hard. You know, you're not an adult yet, okay? And they do still treat you like a child. You know, that's important to know. But as far as I'm going to be honest with the group here, as far as backstories go, I mean, this is wholesome as fuck. Like, he has a really good family life. There's only one thing which stood out as weird, actually, in your childhood. It's a glittering. No, that's not a word. It's a glittering voice, and it's one that it's not Mama, it's not Papa, it's not Gigi, none of your other friends. Something you didn't recognise before. You follow it one night into the forest. Everyone in the family is asleep, and you track it to one singular source of moonlight in a break in the trees, and it seems to be pointing directly at a stick that's kind of hanging out the ground. On the top of the stick there's sort of like a crescent moon shaped. It almost looks intentionally carved, but it's not. And as you go over, curious as you ever are, and you reach a toe out to touch it, the second you do touch it, it's like jarring. You get an image of a person covered in blood for a split second, and then you snap out of it. The light has changed. It's an odd pink colour now. It only happened on that one night, but you remember it forever. And the rest of your life is really fucking happy. So, we're going to flash forward now, because that isn't your entire story. In the years following these brief flashbacks, the group lives a strange variety of lives. Some people are really happy with what they've got, such as Tavis, and really just exist in the moment. It's very wholesome, to be fair. Some people, like Jin, go through a bit of trauma when one day they find his master Adachi missing, and there's a blood-stained poster where he should be. That poster talks about the new world. It talks specifically about a settlement called Astera, where a person called Sapphire Star was starting to put up a new, prosperous society. Jin knows he has to investigate and so sets off on a mission. Binks never quite fit in with the elves. She enjoyed her life, but knew there was something more. Well, she's a lot shorter than them for one, so it was difficult even sitting at the table. She yearned for the truth and always questioned the story that her parents told her that she fell from the heavens. At 18, she found a little folded up poster in one of her books, and not knowing where it came from, she chose to follow it on a journey of discovery. Betty went into hiding after that one night. The curse, the shame, she lived in a recluse lifestyle. She disappeared. She wanted to escape, and her family just presumed her entirely missing, but she was always actually there in the background, too filled with shame. One day she did find the poster with Sapphire Star's name on it and thought it could be a new life for her, so she set off. Like I say, Tavis absolutely loved life. He was dead happy. His home setting was caring, nurturing. One day it was weird though, because he found a poster nailed to a tree on the outskirts of his home. Tavis struggles to read, and he's not very familiar with this weird thing sticking into it. So, asking a local lizard, the lizard told him that the material was metal, something that he's never heard of before. Really intrigued by it. And the name of the thing on the poster was Astera. So Tavis's curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to follow this strange metal and Astera. From separate corners of Pangella, these four adventurers gathered, and following the instructions on this poster that they'd all found by happenstance, they set off on a journey. The problem is, everyone they spoke to had never heard of this place before, Astera. So their journey sent them on a wild goose chase. Huh? So, to give you some highlights of this journey, it began when they met a savage, bloodthirsty group, which was known as the Baby Eaters, and they shouted a name. In the name of Deductor, drain them all. The party fled. The first part of their adventure as a group was running away. They ended up in the golden city of Mayafel, and they met an old gnome who ran a mages guild. He was called Orator, and the mages guild was called Wanderers of the Fourth Dimension. He was the only person so far that had heard of this place, Astera. The problem, but it was that it was too far away. You couldn't walk to it. So he conjured up all of his power and assisted the group with teleportation. Unfortunately, this teleport occurred on the night of the blood moon. The transportation was interrupted, and the party spent a short time fighting some corrupt hags known as the Three Sisters and their abomination spawn known as the Baby on the moon itself. After escaping the moon, they continued to their true destination. Landing in a seaside town called Port Orig, they had slightly more travelling to do. But people here did know of Astera, so they were close, which is great. A short ride across the Peruvian Sea, landing in the town of Hagub, helping the locals rid an evil Wintermas elf, and heading east over the Verdant Hills, they finally found this town, Astera. The problem was that it wasn't all that it was promised on the poster. So it turned out to be a small, developing town and ran by a charismatic but ultimately tyrannical blue-furred tabaxi, Sapphire Star. Later, we didn't know it at the time, but he would be revealed to be a demonic Rakshasa. After waging war on the nearby Fortis Forest through intensive logging and trying to turn the town on the group of adventurers, a full-scale mutiny was launched, resulting in the slaughter of Sapphire Star and the return of a powerful artifact, a crystal, to the Green Dragon in the local forest, the dragon's name Gorgondir. In his last dying moments, Sapphire Star revealed one twist. Inside the pocket dimension, which was the astral deck, a wrecked shipwreck at the top of the highest point in Astera, Sapphire Star revealed why Orator said they couldn't simply walk to Astera. In front of the party, in the never-ending darkness, was Pangella, their home. But they weren't there, because what existed was a planetary duality. They were on a new sister planet called Satus. The planets shared a moon, the planets share a life energy, and the planet shares the story of our adventurers. So this is where we really begin. That was a fucking long intro, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well long.
That was a good
This is where we begin.
Woo!
So here we start. We're just 2 weeks after the ruination of Sapphire Star. Astera is a rebuilding town. There was a lot destroyed. At its helm is a gorgeous high elf called Lumenval Incas. You guys are now known locally as the Heroes. We're 2 weeks after the events of the last campaign, before we started recording the podcast. Astera is yours. What would you like to do?
I can't remember. The Lumenval was the good guy, wasn't he, in the end?
Yes.
Right, okay.
I would like, where we left off, starting to re-put together trees by the river shop.
Yeah, so her building that she lived in, it was a research centre.
Yeah.
If you remember, what happened was, not resources centre, what was it called? Ecological and Botanical Research Centre. Her job was to basically scout out the local area, discover about it, so that Astera could be safe. You know, no one was going to eat any poison berries or whatever. Quite simply like that. There were 2 adjoining buildings, and they had a lot of books in them. Tavis did fall in love with the tabaxi that was there, trees by the river, and she was killed by Sapphire Star when you guys were ousted. Before that happened, if you remember, Tavis, you planted a tree.
I did. One of my seeds.
This is just 2 weeks, like I say, after, but this tree looks like it's been growing for years. It's huge. And it does actually bring both of the buildings together in a way which hasn't been done before. So now when you walk into that building, there is this central section which looks like the underside of a tree. It's got roots which come into the building itself and bind one to the other. What would you like to do there?
Just kind of keep it going until I can sort of find someone to take over it. So like, you know, like watering the plants and making sure everything's fed properly. Make sure it's still thriving.
Okay, cool. As you're watering the plants, what role would I need for this?
What plant watering role?
Survival.
Not that specifically. Something else. Roll me a nature check, please.
That is a 12.
Fuck it. Let's roll it with advantage, please.
That's a bit better. That's an 18.
Yeah. You have a connection to this plant that's in this room, this tree. You notice when you're even walking up to the building, it's started to develop. Tiny blue flowers have started to bloom right at the top of the tree.
Like home.
Yeah. And underneath the tree, in its inner part, underneath the roots itself, tiny little mushrooms have started to grow as well, that are also blue. And I'm talking minuscule. From far away it looks like mould, but these are tiny mushrooms. And one kind of group that's really intensive in the middle of those roots. What's everyone else doing?
I think Betty would like to have started up like a little bakery, like breads, like treats. Maybe she's figured out a way to make some rum that she can sell and also make a rum cake with.
Okay.
She still looks cursed as fuck, but she's making the most of it, you know?
Okay. So last time we were in Astera, there was the canteen, which was called the Firefly Station, owned by Ramses. He is dead now. But, yes.
Forgot about that.
But the Firefly Station is still there. So inside this building, it's really overcrowded. There's like a lot of shelves around, but even the shelves have like they've got like shelves suspended above them because of what's on the shelf. Like some of them you don't think are attached to the wall. Some of them are hanging on ropes between two different shelves. It's a really cluttered space. Really good though. There's a lot of things like meats that are like curing up above you and like things like that. Super busy. The reason again why this is called the Firefly Station is because there's no natural light in this room. There's fire, actual fire that's cooking things, boiling a big old pot in the middle of the room, and there's fireflies that kind of get captured, not by any ill will. They are just naturally drawn to these lanterns, and they sit there lighting up the room in a really dim glow. What would you like to do with this building? This can be your place.
I think she's not super chaotic as a person, so she'd maybe like tidy it up a bit. Everything, the way that Betty did things was very like professional. So it would all be like ordered in jars with names on. Like there'd be like whatever she's gone out and foraged. Maybe she's gone out with like Tavis or Binks. They knew the forest really well.
Yeah.
And like foraged loads of things. So like everything would be in like nice jars with labels on. And she's kind of got her best sellers on like a counter for people to buy. And then she has like her experimental station where sometimes you'll just hear her like rustling about and then something will like explode and she'll come out covered in flour or something like that, she's like trying to try new recipes but they're not always successful.
Okay, cool.
And maybe she'll rename it as well.
Have a think about that.
Yeah, think what she's going to call it.
Okay,
she's
no
going to rebrand,
Yeah.
Better business.
Anyone else up to anything in Astera?
Jin will have been like teaching the village kids and any other villagers like self-defense in the courtyard. And like doing little
okay
runs and
so he's still actually focused. He's still actually like on his own training now, basically. Is that what you're saying?
So he's like sort of passing on what knowledge he can, but reminding himself why he chose continue to live the monk lifestyle.
Right, yeah. Some of the local kind of kids are going to come up to you, and again, you have to remember that these kids have actually witnessed full-scale slaughter in the streets at one point, and they're going to come up to you and be like, Magic Crow Man, can you teach me how to stab people?
Alright, boy, yeah, I can teach you how to stab someone.
Oh, wow.
But
He's
your
just
fist is your most important weapon.
So he's got like a sharpened twig, and he just kind of like, you don't mean I just hit him with the pointy end?
Well, yeah, you can do that, boy.
Oh yeah! And he turns to his mate. He's like, "Come here!"
I'm not cut out to be a teacher just yet.
Luckily, he doesn't stab his mate to death, as he's not very good with his sharpened twig yet. And instead, he kind of like goes to slash him. It doesn't work, but he's still pretty dangerous, this kid. And then he looks around at you like, "Okay, I'm gonna go stab some more people now." Just runs away.
What's your name, boy?
I was thinking the most demonic name.
David.
Satinus.
Dexter. Yeah. Call me Dex. He runs away. He's gone into the distance.
Okay. Just gonna go back to.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Binks, what are you up to? Any specific changes that you're after for Astera?
And I don't have a book, so I don't fucking remember. Yeah, I think she'd definitely be like foraging stuff, So like looking around the area, what kind of stuff she can find that's food, or maybe anything that she can find that might be magical or she could use within magic. She'd also be really interested in like looking at what lives in the area and like trying to, because from what I can remember it was like it was kind of barren, like just grassy.
Yes, there was a small farm off to the kind of
and we had
west.
some small animals, didn't we?
Yes, yeah, not a lot.
Where's Clarice?
So on Binks's little mission to the farm, you go speak to Walter, the farmer, and he says, "Well, Binks, I'm still looking for a stable hand if you want to go and, be a hand in the stable."
Do we even have anything worth stabling yet?
Oh, yes. Oh, there's a mighty big creature in that stable right there.
What?
Yes, just over there.
What do you mean?
Well, you're gonna have to go find out yourself. I can't do all that. I've got shit to do. I need a stable hand. I got shit to do around here. I need to go and pick up that poo over there on the floor, and then put it on the field, and then wait 6 to 9 months until a plant grows, and then pick the plant out of the ground. I've got a lot to do here. Go check it out yourself.
He's realising that Dean doesn't understand how growing.
That farm is given stranger danger.
You just plant the poo, right, and it just grows into a plant. Oh, right, okay.
I mean, in some cases, but no.
That's not how it works.
Oh, Tavis, you're here too.
I just
Okay, well,
mingling.
look, between the both of you, I think it makes one able person. So why don't you go to the stable where there is a hand needed, and go and wrangle that beast that's in there.
Binks, I think we should go back to town.
Oh, I want to see what the beast is.
Yeah, so do I. I was just joking.
Okay.
So you guys go.
You go first because you're bigger.
Oh, okay, I go first.
Yeah. You go to the stable.
Do magic.
I'd like you to roll a perception check for me. First of all, you can do it with both of you, please.
This place
So
can go
fucking
fucking
cat.
suck a dick.
5. If only I had my base
11.
twice, they might be working.
Okay.
That's with +8.
Wow. Yeah. So, Binks, you're feeling a little bit insulted actually by Walter that he said that are you more of the one hand than Tavis is? You couldn't quite work it out, but it's playing on your mind anyway. And as you go over to the stable, Tavis, with a roll of 11, you just barely recognise a familiar sound.
Oh, shit. Wait, hold on. I know that voice. That's Clarice.
Clarice.
Clarice, I know. Been working hard.
I don't think she's the big beast, though.
I think that she just said she was.
I think you're hearing things.
Wait, let me just check. And I'm gonna open the stable door very slowly and just peek in.
Yeah, so at the other side of the stable, like just next to a big pile of hay, you see this creature just turn, and she runs towards the door. Flapping her wings.
I'm just gonna run towards it.
And in slow motion, you two just like and get a hug going. That was the slowest motion Bakara could do.
Binks, I'm gonna need a bigger satchel to hold her in round my back.
She's grown a little bit. Yeah. She's a bit porky.
She's massive.
She's right there. Don't tell her that. Don't bother me.
It's in a good way. You've become so big.
Fuck you.
Okay, I'm
I'm going to tell the listeners what Clarice actually is.
Sorry, yeah, I should actually, yeah. Clarice is a chicken Was there anything specific about that?
She was
Just a chicken.
Yeah.
We got really attached to this one chicken that we carried around in a satchel for like 6 months of campaign time. Anyway, Clarice is there, a little bit bigger than she used to be.
How big is Clarice now?
Probably the size of like 1.4 regular chickens. So
It's Clarice, CLERECE.
ACE.
Clarice.
But with a little fucking French accent.
Clarice,
She's fancy.
she's fancy.
Fucking hell. Is there anything else in this bomb?
No, it's like you look around on the floor. There's just chicken shit everywhere and loads of scratches.
I think he was talking about her.
I knew there was nothing in this barn to handle. Binks is gonna leave, and then she wants to she's really keen on increasing the biodiversity of the area.
Cool.
She's used to so many different types of plants and loads of different types of animals, and it's kind of just grass here.
Yeah.
So she wants to learn more about the land, see how she can attract different animals and stuff like that.
Well, we'll say kind of immediately after the whole, overthrow of Astera, you don't waste any time with getting to work on that. You guys already have a connection with the closest forest to Astera, the Fortis Forest. So I'm going to say that Binks spends time in and out of that forest. I'd like you to roll me, please, I'd like to roll me 2 checks. First of all, please, nature. And second of all, arcana.
We're both going shit.
Good.
Nature is 16.
Yep.
Arcana is 27.
Holy shit. Okay, cool.
Jesus.
So from those 2 rolls, and in that order, you discover that this forest in particular, it isn't great for things like produce or anything like that. You get that a lot of the magical energy of this forest, it's recently been really replenished, and a lot of the kind of dryads and a lot of the sprites and a lot of the fairies have returned to this place recently, and are content with their situation. So they were at a time of turmoil before that, but they're happy now. With those fey-like creatures in the forest, they attract a lot of more natural, should we call them, species. And so there's loads of bugs, loads of small vertebrates, not many large predators at all. But this is definitely a flourishing area, and something that you think, if you keep on the good side of the forest, because you now understand essentially it's a living, breathing, magical entity, that a place like Astera, which is right next to it, will have the fruits of that friendship.
Yeah, I think I want to make a point as well while she's there of trying to build relationships with the creatures of the forest. So whenever she comes across dryads, sprites, whatever they might be, even if it's just the, like you said, the regular animals that are in there, she's going to kind of make a conscious effort to be kind to them and learn from them and be respectful.
Okay, good. I'd like you to roll me a d20, please. No modifiers, no nothing.
1.
Okay, that's fine. We don't need a modifier
I
for
can go
this
in
one.
the fucking bed.
Bye.
Tell Hannah and Nathan that their Lord of the Rings dice is shit.
I think they're watching.
Watch it.
It's shit.
Oh, are they both watching?
I don't
I think
know.
Nathan is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, bear with me 1 second. If it would load. There we go.
Her bakery. Soggy bottoms. Saucy buns. Bun moist oven.
Can I suggest a 4th option? Cream pies.
That.
Cream pies. Okay.
Come inside.
Literally. Okay. I think that's weird about, when people say we're trying for a baby, It's just like, you might as well we're shagging loads. Like, yeah,
I'm
cool.
just leaving my cum inside her for longer than normal.
I'm tipping her upside down afterwards.
Like a cow.
Yeah, and also the like congratulating like between parents and children for being pregnant. It's like, well done for cream pieing my daughter. You know what I mean? Shaking his
Several
hand.
times.
Like, yeah, several times. I just think it's odd. Anyway, back to fantasy reality. You wouldn't believe it, but in this time in the forest, you there's a few times where like you hear a few footsteps, and they're definitely not human, but they pique your interest. One of these times you do spot it, and it's a unicorn in the forest. Just this one time, it seems to stop, pause, turn and look at you directly. You okay in there, guy else? It seems to stop and turn and look at you directly. It doesn't do any action, but you feel a sense of inner peace and curiosity as it carries on walking into the woods. Okay.
Binks would like to do one more thing.
Yeah?
She would like to look for Jeremy.
Okay, cool. Can you describe to me how or where you're doing that?
I guess she would be going to the places she knows Jeremy likes to hang out. So, like, he likes like little
Brothels.
Yeah, he's a massive one.
One of my notes is him having fun in a strip club.
Yeah, he does like a strip club. No, she'd be finding like the things she knows he likes. Like, he's pretty stereotypical. He likes cheese, things like that. So anywhere where she knows there's going to be food. He's also quite mischievous, so she'd look in some places that she knows he's definitely not supposed to be. Whether that's like the boat where Sapphire Star used to be and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's where she'd start. She'd start like anywhere where she knows he's not meant to be, or anywhere where she knows there's food that he likes.
Well, you've mentioned it specifically. In the time when Binks goes to the astral deck, this is, again, just for context, this was the headquarters of Astera. It's a sky ship which has crashed onto the highest point, a small mountain that the town then built around. I'd like you to please roll me an investigation check.
And he's passed on his fucking curse.
What was it?
9.
9.
Have you got the dice curse?
Yeah.
So inside...
Oh,
It's your turn this campaign.
Inside the astral deck, you walk in, and it's as simple as you remember it. You've not stepped foot in there for 2 weeks. Last time you were in there, you almost fought to the death. You walk in, and it's nondescript. It looks like the inside of the cabin section of a pirate ship, essentially, with a one wall at the back with a door in it. And there's space on the walls. Remember that Sapphire Star used to hang up like magical weapons there. They're gone. They were either kind of pillaged in that fight, or you removed them beforehand. If you remember, a few of them were illusions. And you're looking at these walls and like looking at the spaces where the weapons once were, and you swear, only for a split second, that there's drawings on them, like scratched in specifically. Before you can kind of take a look too much, you hear a voice from the background. Binks. Hello. This is Lumenval. This is the gloriously good-looking high elf. He has long, flowing blonde hair, sharp features, emerald green armour, a long staff, and a hawk by his side. Hello. How are you and the heroes, I believe you're called?
Well, okay, just getting by.
Well, whatever you do need, remember, we are forever in your debt. We don't have a lot of money to pay a debt, but, resources otherwise. You can always come to us.
I just need my mouse. You see
Mouse?
my mouse?
Mouse.
Mouse.
I'm not familiar.
He's pink.
He's not small, is he? And he kind of like looks at his hawk Garuda, and he's sort of like,
I will fuck that chicken up if he's eating my mouse.
don't talk about Colorisa like that. Oh, you meant Garuda. Well,
I was insulting the hawk.
I'd like...
I know he's a hawk.
Your humour is too dry. I would like to see you try. Anyway, I hear there's a celebration tonight. Says, are you attending? Are you in
Where's
the
my
hills?
mouse?
Oh, well, I've not seen the mouse.
But he's pink. How can you miss him?
Okay, describe the mouse to me, please.
He's a pink mouse. He's got no hair. Answers to Jeremy.
Answers to Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll make a note and look out for the mouse. If I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll send Garuda.
No.
Okay. I'll send.
Keep the bird with you at all times.
Okay. I guess I'll have to deliver the message personally.
Mm-hmm. That'll do.
Anyway, are you attending the celebration tonight?
Is a celebration tonight? Is it
Yes.
for me?
Well, yes.
No, great.
Funnily enough, you and the other heroes. I thought you'd be a bit more excited about that.
No, I am excited. I'm just thinking about how I'm the best one.
Oh, right. We are quite powerful. I am a fan of anyone who, how do you phrase this? Fucks with the arcane. Yes, Barnold is really looking forward to hosting you guys.
I've not caught up with Barnold in ages.
Probably about 2 weeks.
Yeah, probably about 2 weeks, yeah.
Yes, he's been working quite hard to rebuild the busted nut. Although, I think he's gone for a bit of a rebrand, to be honest with you.
A rebrand?
Yes, more of his flavour.
That guy's just like formidable. He's such a Terminator.
I know, yes. A real face-off. No, I can't think of another Arnold pun.
I don't think he was in the film Face Off.
Was he not?
That was Nick
Nicolas
Cage and John Travolta.
Any less like
I
that?
love that film as well. Okay, running a man along now.
Nice save.
Yeah, thank you. So yes, there's a party tonight. You've not seen the advert?
No. Where is it?
A little poster over there. It says Judgment Day.
Judgment Day?
Terminator Judgment Day. Yes.
Oh, that doesn't sound like a party.
It's a nice judgment. It's like they're going to judge you as good.
Okay, that's not really a judgment, and if we're already good.
Oh well, you could have done something bad in the last 2 weeks. I don't know. Stop breaking my balls, Binks. I'm just saying. There is a celebration.
Man's
this
just
evening.
trying to make Terminator jokes.
And you said that my sense of humor was crap.
Anyway, you're invited. Conan is invited. No, sorry. Betty, the barbarian, is invited.
It's getting a little desperate now.
I know, yeah. The Expendables 4 is invited. No, joking.
Mabel, get out.
So, yeah, the conversation naturally draws to a close as he plucks random Arnold Schwarzenegger shit puns from thin air. Anyone got anything else specific to do in Astera or within that 2 weeks?
I want to try the blue mushrooms.
Try them, like eat them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I know what they do.
Yeah. So, interesting. Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
How damn this was a bad idea, Clarice.
Tavis doing mushrooms on his own?
All the time.
Ash, in my bag, in there's a little notepad, a little Arden notepad. Can you grab it in, please? In my backpack.
Fucking chance I'm not.
What one am I doing? Oh,
Do you
con
need my backpack?
No, my backpack. Constitution saving throw, please, yeah.
Oh shit, that's a 4. No, it's not, it's a 6.
I can only see my backpack.
The backpacks.
Did you mean that one?
No. Is mine not there on the chair?
Change my D22.
Oh, right, you mean like that? Yeah, yeah, it's yours. It's because
With
Ash.
advantage, did you say?
I don't think it did, no.
No.
Talking about.
Thank you. Those mushrooms. Maybe it's because they're a bit young, but they're a bit tasteless, a bit boring, nothing special, and definitely some of them slimy, you know, because it's a little wet underneath the bottom of the root. But nothing weird about it.
Okay, no. So I'll get that it's 2, maybe it's not mature enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So one day, can I sit with it and use plant growth?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, is it a cantrip?
No, it's a spell.
Okay, cool. Yes, you can. Didn't expect you to do this type of thing so early. But you cast plant growth on this kind of bundle of mushrooms around the root, and they grow. The mushrooms grow a lot quicker, so they become quite monstrous, and kind of all into one, rather than like individual mushrooms. They kind of grow and combine.
Can I study them now?
Yeah. Roll me an investigation check at this point.
Different dice, come on. Investigation, yeah.
Yeah.
15.
Okay, cool. The mushroom itself, you now get, is probably ripe for the eating. You're familiar with it now, and you kind of recognise it a little bit. Reminds you of home.
Yes.
Don't
need it.
But it's not necessarily the mushroom that's actually the most interesting part of this. With the 15, you notice that there's a bit of root growth on the tree itself that's more interesting to you. Very hard, very solid compared to the rest of the roots here. But that's all the growth that there is. That's all the spell can pull from it. You feel like it's tapped now. Cool. So, let's progress slightly to the evening. By this point, word's got around. Binks has come and shared news with you guys that there's a short celebration being held by Barnold for you guys as you approach what used to be called the Busted Nut, but if you remember, you guys burnt it down. So the old tavern isn't there anymore. There is a small building that's being rebuilt next to it, and Barnold is kind of outside on the little step ladders, and he's sort of hanging up a sign as you approach. Oh, guys, welcome, thanks for coming. I know it's not much, but this little building behind me is going to be the new tavern and the new gym. It's going to be a tavern gym. I'm thinking it's revolutionary. Nobody has done this before other than me, Barnold. Would you come inside for an ale and a wine and a ale again?
Jin's gonna walk up to you and go, Barnold, you son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch! So they're gonna embrace. You son of a bitch, Jin! I've not seen you in like 2 weeks!
I know, how is it going?
It's going so amazing!
Cool. What's the new place called?
I'm glad you asked, I just hung up the sign!
Wow.
As he points at the sign.
Let me draw on them.
It's called the Palm! Can you see if that? Can someone hold that to the camera, please? It's not even going to come through, is it? Oh,
You get a bulge in there.
We'll post
Or
it.
maybe
on
one
our-
of
I'll
these
post it on our
cameras.
stories.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, the pump. And hold the
quite
crotch
see
up a
the
little bit. Hold the crotch up a bit. There you go. Yeah, that's the bulge.
It's a bulge.
Face. He's done some good work there.
That's a decent cartoon.
That is.
Spent a long
Full on.
time during that.
Honestly,
during that bulge.
about the
9.5.
bulge. Yeah.
9.5 out of 10 effort.
The palm.
Thanks for coming to the pump. It's a play on words because it's a beer tap and you get the pump. It feels like you're coming.
I don't even know what to make of this situation, guys.
Tavis, come inside. I've got all kinds of coconut water and other like hippie things for you.
Okay, and I just walk in.
Yeah, so Tavis walks in. Inside Tavis, you're going to realise it's quite it's a very rudimentary building. It's small, that you can still see versions of scaffolding up, even though it doesn't exist in this fantasy time. Like strong pieces of wood that are holding up like
the
rock
bamboo
walls.
scaffolding.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. And there's just one person behind the bar, like a female Goliath. Bit smaller actually than Barnold. Are the rest of you guys going in as well?
Yeah, this is Betty's thing, this.
Okay, cool. So inside there is sort of there's quite a few people actually, but the mood is still weirdly somber after that whole disaster a few weeks ago. But word's definitely got around. You know, like people have come here to celebrate you guys, and a lot of people, like when you're walking in, there's sort of people saying like, "Oh, it's the heroes! It's the Another accent's coming up. Oh my goodness! Hey, look over there! It's the heroes! Oh my god! We're only here today because of them! Oh yeah, shit!" Anyway, so the rest of the guys are all celebrating you, and you're known locally as the heroes. It's brilliant. Barnold comes up and kind of like pats like Jim, who's at the back of the group, on the back and says, "Okay, now business has been pretty hard recently, so I can't offer you free drinks tonight. But you know, I put on some finger food."
I've just realised I have 121 gold pieces.
Fucking hell, you're rich.
I don't know how I've got this.
You're rich.
But after hearing Barnold's had a bad time, I'm going to hand him the 121 gold shiny pieces.
Jin.
That's not my name.
I mean, as he moves Jin to the side. Tavis. This gold, it's more than I spent on this entire building.
Okay. Well, you can have it.
Jin, move. Tavis.
I got no use for it. I don't know what it's for. So you can keep these little gold tokens if you want, if it helps you.
That is so generous.
We're just letting this happen.
That's, you know, my ultimate goal in life is to send my daughter, Katerina, to wizarding school, to the Fluxus Academy of Arcane Arts, over in Mayerfell.
That's cool. Well, I hope the tokens...
Well, this won't get me all of the way, but it's certainly a start.
I don't know if that's a kick in the teeth for me or not, because I don't know how much that actually is that I gave.
Thank you.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Wow.
By the way, can I bring Clarice in here?
She's already here. As he points over to a bar stool, and Clarice is just there, like.
I was wondering where she got to this afternoon.
Pecking away over there.
She's been here for hours, waiting for you guys. She goes.
Did Clarice's husband die?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why we took her.
Oh, that's sad, isn't it?
I can't remember his name.
She can't remember his name.
Clarice is a widow.
chickens.
Oh.
I know, yeah.
He had many wives.
So
Such a
Barnold.
cock.
So Barnold kind of goes over to the bar and he's like, "Carolina, please fill up the drinks for these fine heroes." And she's like, "Okay, Papa."
Is she like that? Are you sure?
Just imagine she hasn't got a neck.
She's about a fucking 4 foot smaller than him.
What was that Arnie film when he got pregnant and he goes, "But I'm all woman."
I don't know.
Was it Face Off?
Face off.
I was thinking of the twins with Danny DeVito.
Oh, is that the one?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh God. Anyway, she goes, "Yes, Papa, I'll get them the drinks now." He goes, "Thanks." She fucks
Maybe
off.
you should use some of the tokens to go see a chiropractor.
That's a very big word for you, Tavis.
I know, Clarice taught it me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah.
You look over and Clarice is like taking shots and stuff on the bar. Like big shots. So Barnold is he's really happy to have you guys there. You guys mingle for a couple of hours.
Is there any gym equipment in there yet?
Oh yeah. Oh
But-
fuck! I forgot to use my dialogue for him. Yes, he says.
Glad you asked.
Yes, he says, "We're using pieces of the old building as free weights, so please pick up this brick over here and do some curls."
Yes.
That was my dialogues that are up for that bit. So
Whatever
there you
the
go.
gym is, Betty is in it, and she's challenging all the guys around her to like some sort of lifting.
Wow.
She is on it.
Let's fucking do it. You know
Oh, gosh.
that it's a squat, bench, and deadlift.
Yeah.
Triple. So I'd like you to roll for me, please. Is anyone in on this?
Yeah.
I like
Binks is it.
playing games.
Oh, Jin?
Jin will try, yeah.
Fuck. All right.
Binks has seen Betty lifting enough, and she's like, I think I got
Okay,
this.
let's
I can
fucking do this. Some friendly competition. Starting with squat,
She did not
please. I'd like you to roll a check, right? I want you to justify what the check's going to be for your squat. If you can role play it or say it and say why it's that. Like, as an example, if it was like Jin, like maybe he's going to do something dexterity based.
Oh, you know he's going to pull sumo.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So, and get away with that. Then that can be his role, right? So you can't. This is the rule now. You can't use the same skill twice.
Oh shit.
So you've got squat, bench, and deadlift coming up. Starting with squat, and I'm going to go straight over to the person who laid down the challenge, Betty. First, what skill do you want to use? Why? And then give me your roll.
Okay. Don't know how many skills are going to help me here. We'll go squat. We'll go with strength for squat.
Okay.
But she's going to rage first.
So she's got advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking go for it.
But in like, you know, instead of like she's just going to rage, you know, like when we used to do powerlifting and you'd see like people walk up to a bar and they'd go like, and they'd start riding the bar around and they go, "Ah," before they do it. She's going to do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go
Scream
for
at the bar. It makes it lighter.
Oh god, that was bad.
it. Makes it lighter.
It does.
You scare some of the weight out of it.
I used to hit myself in the face sometimes. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You know when you get to the
Doesn't
bottom
make
of the
sense.
squat and you kind of go like, that's what she's doing.
Where your insides become your outsides. Was it a check?
It's a strength
Definitely
check,
gotta
please.
do that little strut in a circle afterwards as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
Otherwise
yeah.
you won't do it properly.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, she rolled absolutely shit. So 9, 10, 11, 12. I think she just rolled a 12. You don't get any pluses, do you?
Get
No.
advantage.
That was with advantage.
Oh, right.
Wow.
I rolled an 8 and a 6.
Wow.
No, an 8 and a 9.
12. Okay, Binks. What skill are you using? Why or how?
Binks is using Arcana.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
She's gonna use Minor Illusion to make it sound like there's like drums of war behind her and everyone's like, Binks, Binks, Binks.
Wow.
She's hyping herself up with magic, basically.
Holy shit. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Roll your check.
Nice, 24.
Holy shit. Wow. Tavis, what are you doing?
So I'm going to step up, and as I'm stepping up, which one's this one we're doing?
Squat.
Squat. I'm going to sort of like put my hand to my chest, and as I do, these like roots start growing out, and it grows all over my body. I'm casting bark skin.
Oh,
I
nice.
look like a massive Groot. Like,
Cool. So you're rigid as fuck.
yeah. So I'm going to use nature.
Cool. Go for it.
That's a 21.
Oh, fucking hell. Impressive. The absolute weight of it should snap his spine, but because he's so damn erect and rigid, it doesn't. Erect, comma, and rigid. Jin, what are you up to? Squat.
What the fuck can I do for squat?
Take your mind back to
Don't
those
prolapse
days.
your qualacca.
The days when we were squats on a platform.
Whatever you do, we are not putting that back in.
Can't think of anything for this one, to be honest. I will just do a survival check and hope for the best. Because
Right, Jin's trying not to die on the way.
He has got hollow bones, so
Good point. Probably not the best, actually.
Gets underneath, he's like, why did I do this?
I had to explain that to some nursery children today that birds have hollow bones.
That's
It wasn't
horrible.
easy.
Oh, I only got.
And then a kid rubbed my butt. It was really weird.
Whoa.
What? Rubbed your butt?
You know when kids are really little and they just want to hug you?
Yeah.
So she was like doing little whistling noises. I was like, oh, that's a good bird noise. This kid was in nursery. She was really little. And she went to hug me. But obviously the height she is was like, oh. But she was
grabs your
hugging me
arse.
like this.
Wait, what was the other hand? Was it on
No,
your
the other
thigh?
hand was like
Oh,
here
right.
on my belly. But yeah, she was like just rubbing my butt. I was like, no, thank you.
I had an experience in a primary school.
Wow.
And a kid bit me on the leg.
Oh,
And now
wow.
we're back to working with
I don't know how like teachers do it. To be fair.
No.
Mad. Anyway, Jin, what did you get?
9.
9. Okay, cool. So in that order, we have Jin crashing out first and potentially snapping all of his bones. We've got Betty, who just got really angry, but he wasted too much energy on shouting at the bar.
Gym bro.
Then we've got Tavis, who got too rigid for his own good. And then you've got Binks, who actually... Was it that you were using minor illusion on the weights to make him look like more? Or was it like...
No, it was like sound. She
It was
was
just
like
hyping you.
herself up, yeah.
But I'll go with that, because then you get hyped by your own hype.
Yeah.
You know, and then you successfully win the squat. Moving on to bench press. What are we going to do?
Okay.
Same order, Betty?
Okay, I'm going to go for acrobatics.
Because you've got those really dramatic where they like swing underneath.
Oh,
it with
yeah,
their back,
yeah.
like,
Oh my god, are you going for like a stupid art?
She's going to do the art.
Where it's like, yeah!
Obviously, the titties are going to act as a little like acrobatic. I'm just going for acrobatics because I feel like they can swing
Drop
around
onto her
and
boobs and
they
bounce
do
it up.
move around a lot on their own, and they're going to go.
the boob,
Has
doesn't
Betty
it?
got acrobatic tips?
She has now.
acrobatics.
She's like swinging him around, so they're going to.
Okay.
As
And
the
nipples are dancing on top of the bar.
they're going to move the bench.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Roll it. Acrobatics check.
So that'll be good. 15.
15. Okay, next up. Binks.
I'm gonna go investigation.
Okay.
Binks is feeling really confident because she's quite smart. Like she's probably the smartest one in this competition. So she's like gonna study the science of the weight.
Right,
So
right.
she's gonna really get up to the bar and like look at the distribution and see exactly where she needs to put her hands.
Okay.
And, yeah.
You're going to science it.
She's
Okay.
gonna science it. She's gonna
Go ahead.
investigate the fuck out
Let's
of it.
roll
and
your,
science
roll
it.
your check for that.
It was a 10.
10. Okay. Not a successful science experiment, obviously.
Try.
Tavis?
The weight's being as big as her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tavis, what's your approach for bench press?
For bench press, so I'm still jacked up as a massive tree sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'll grip round it. And I really don't want this to drop on me, so I'm going to try survival.
So, okay. You're going with the gin method.
It's
Okay.
more the fear of it dropping on me.
Cool, yeah, roll a
breaking me.
survival check. Fear.
That's a dirt 20.
Ooh, nice. Fear takes over and turns into strength in this case. Jin?
Jin's feeling a bit more confident with his bench.
Right.
He's
Bird chest.
yeah, he's gonna like get into position. He's gonna like give himself a crazy arch using acrobatics.
Yeah.
And he's gonna like pull the weight weight down to his chest, and then he's going to use flurry of blows to like power his fists forwards.
Nice.
Through his bench press.
Okay, cool. Roll the check then.
That's amazing.
Whatever stat that would end up being.
Okay. I don't
Just
really
pick
know.
a really high stat for that one. That's fine. Use an ability.
Shall I
That's
use
fine.
it like it's an unarmed strike or something?
Yeah, because that adds your dexterity bonus,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Oh, 24.
Yeah, so with this one, the key energy that Adachi has been teaching Jin comes out and pushes the bench off him. In this case, Tavis, because he was fighting for his life, he survived and came second there. Betty's acrobatic tits somehow assisted her. Fuck knows how. And Binks, unfortunately, your examination of the bar didn't gain you extra strength there. So last up, it's the deadlift, the hardest of the exercises. Well, it's the most weight, potentially. So last chance to impress. Betty, what are you going with?
Okay, this isn't even a high stat for me, but I'm doing it for flavour. I'm going to go with performance.
Okay.
As we all know, Betty likes a strip bar. She likes a pole dance. She's used to the old bend and snap.
Oh, right, okay.
So she's going to put those glutes to use, and as she bends and snaps, she's going to perform her favourite move, and hopefully that helps.
Okay, cool, yeah, roll it. The first nat 20 of the campaign.
Fuck out.
Yeah. Snapped every cock in the room. They're like, whoa! Okay, sick.
Just wasted my 20 on that.
What do you mean waste?
Not a waste.
Fucking deadlift!
It's the best lift.
Binks, what are you going to do?
Panic, mostly. I feel like because she was really little, the squat was alright. Because she's not got very far to go down. I'm assuming I can't use a spell because I've already done Arcana. It's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
What, have you got another option? If not, just use the
Yeah.
spell.
I've got. What do you mean?
Have you got a backup if you can't use the spell?
Yeah.
Okay, use the backup.
Use the backup.
Yeah. What's the backup?
The backup was going to be religion. She was just going to pray. Pray to some sort of god.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Do this.
Yeah, go ahead, roll it.
Thinks he's like, I don't even know if I believe in a god. I just, sorry, somebody is listening. Just please. I don't want to look weak in front of all my friends. It was a. Why the fuck can't I read that? 23.
Whoa, sick. Right, Tavis.
So I have seen what both of these have done and how well they've done it. So I'm going to use perception and do exactly what they've done.
Okay, yeah. So simultaneously you're trying to pray for your life and snap off people's cocks.
Snap off people.
Like that, this. Clarice! What? Watch!
She's almost unconscious at this point.
That is a 26.
Holy shit! I got it! You guys have really fucking come out for this one. What did you roll on the dice then?
18, and it's a
Fuck
plus 8.
me. Cool, last up, Jin.
Jin's gonna step up to the bar, give a respectful bow,
Of course.
and then
fuck out of it.
he's gonna spread his like raven peats as far as he possibly can, like all the way out to like the very edges of the bar.
Like, is it fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme with the trucks?
Yeah, he's literally gonna do a sumo deadlift pull, and he's gonna go down and he's gonna yoink it off the ground all of like 2 inches because he's a massive fucking cheater, like all fucking sumo pullers.
Nice.
And I'm gonna use acrobatics.
Go for it.
Oh,
Jin's back's just snapped.
So,
and
It's
just
like
like
all, like,
all
bones are just
sumo pullers, he gets his just desserts.
yeah, even if you would have lifted the most that day, everyone knows you really didn't.
Yeah.
Cool. So Jin, unfortunately, bottom of the pile there. Even with phenomenal rolls, somehow Binks is third. And Tavis is second. But with a natural 20, you can't deny that Betty, what did you say? Bent and snapped?
Bend and snap. It's from Legally Blonde, isn't it?
Bent and snapped the fuck out of that
bend and
deadlift.
snap.
Okay, I'll go with that. And the whole room is just like, woo! By whole room, I mean like maybe 10 people, because some people are leaving at this point.
She needed that to feel good about herself.
Yeah.
She's an ugly bitch at the moment.
Binks is going to point in Jin's face and be like, you got beat by a gnome!
So
Look how fucking small I am!
we had Binks winning it on the squat. We had Tavis winning it on the bench. And we had Betty winning on the deadlift. As Barnold comes over. Oh, it's okay, Jin. We can't all win all the time. Unless you are me.
Do you have any protein shakes behind the bar?
Oh, that's a different kind of service, Jin. We don't do that here.
I think your problem's calcium.
Oh, well.
Maybe I need to eat more eggs from a cloaca.